Fearī Teiru is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Hiro Mashima. It has been published in Weekly Shōnen Magazine since August 2, 2006, and has been published by Kodansha in 43 tankōbon volumes. The individual chapters are being published in tankōbon volumes by Kodansha, with the first released on December 15, 2006, and the 43rd volume released on May 16, 2014. Fearī Teiru follows the adventures of Lucy Heartfilia, a teenage wizard, who joins the titular Wizards Guild and teams up with fellow guild member Natsu Dragneel as he searches for the dragon Igneel. The chapters have been adapted into an anime series produced by A1 Pictures and Satellite, which began broadcasting in Japan in 2009. Additionally, A1 Pictures and Satellite have developed 6 original video animations and an animated feature film, Fearī Teiru the Movie, Phoenix Priestess. The series ended on March 30, 2013. However, on March 4, Mashima announced on his Twitter account that the anime would not end yet, and that reruns of the anime will begin airing on TV Tokyo under the title Fearī Teiru Best. On April 4, 2013. On July 11, Mashima announced the green-lighting of a sequel series of the anime. The new series premiered on TV Tokyo on April 5, 2014. The series was originally licensed for an English-language release in North America by Del Rey Manga, which began releasing the individual volumes on March 25, 2008 and ended its licensing with the 12th volume release in September 2010. In December 2010, Kodansha Comics USA licensed the series from Del Rey, and has since continued its North American release. The Southeast Asian network and IMAX Asia aired an English-language version of the series for 3 seasons from 2010 to 2013. The anime has been licensed by Funimation Entertainment for an English-language release in North America. Overview, setting: the world of Fearī Teiru is populated by wizards and numerous other races, including exceeds, dragons, celestial spirits, and giant beasts. Earthland, a vast peninsula, is divided into 10 different countries: the Fearī Kingdom, 7, Bosco, Iceberg, Minstrel, Midi, Degito, Joya, Bellum, and the Per-Grand Kingdom. Sin and Kaulum, 2 different islands, are also a part of Earthland. Fearī Teiru is filled with anachronisms, like lacrima, racrima, a crystalline substance that can be used to store magic, and can function as crystal balls for communication apart from its other uses. Magic is an ability occurring in every individual for some races in Fearī Teiru, although only 10% of Earthland's population use this magic. There are 2 categories of magic. Special ability magic allows a wizard to use magic from their bodies. Holder magic allows a user to cast magic with items. Plot: Lucy Heartfilia is a 17-year-old celestial wizard who runs away from home to join Fearī Teiru, a rambunctious wizards guild whose members are famous for their overly destructive antics. She is invited into the guild by Natsu Dragneel, a dragon slayer wizard from Fearī Teiru with the abilities of a dragon, who travels the land of Fear with his partner Happy, a blue flying cat, in search of his foster parent, a dragon named Igneel who had disappeared 7 years earlier. Lucy forms a team with Natsu and Happy, and are later joined by an ice wizard Grey Fullbuster and an armored female wizard Ursa Scarlet. The 5 take on various missions together, including the subjugation of illegal dark guilds and demons created by the ancient dark wizard Zeph. While battling the Phantom Lord Guild, Natsu uncovers clues behind Igneel's disappearance from Gajeel Redfox, a rival dragon slayer from Phantom Lords who was raised by the dragon Metallicana. Fearī Teiru Guild later crosses paths with Jalil Fernandez, Urtsa's childhood friend who is manipulated by Atir Milkovich to revive Zeph using the Tower of Heaven. Natsu defeats Jalil and the Tower of Heaven is destroyed. Afterward, Gajeel joins Fearī Teiru with his guildmate Juvia Loxa, a water wizard. Laxus Drior, the renegade grandson of the guild's master Makarov Drior, then attempts to take over Fearī Teiru by setting up a battle royal, but is ultimately defeated and expelled. Forming an alliance with the wizard guilds Blue Pegasus, Lamia Scale and Kayat Shelter, Fearī Teiru fights the Dark Guild Aracia Cubed Cease, who have revived Jalil. Wendy Marvel, a dragon slayer raised by Grandine and the sole member of Kayat Shelter, joins Fearī Teiru along with her flying cat Kala. Lucy, Natsu, and the others enter the alternate universe of idolas when their guild vanishes due to idola's powers. The group encounters Faust, the king of idolas, who intends to bestow a limitless supply of magic for his universe by harnessing the magic and the people of Magnolia. Happy and Kala also discover their heritage as Exceeds sent to Earthland as infants on the orders of their queen Shagot. Allying with the Exceeds and Faust's son Mystigan, Fearī Teiru defeats Faust and restores their guild at the cost of idola's magical power being drained. The group returns to Earthland with the Exceeds, one of whom, Panther Lily, forms a partnership with Igneel. Also Lysana Strauss, Natsu's childhood friend who thought to be dead, returns from idolas. Several members of Fearī Teiru, including Natsu, Lucy, and their allies, participate in an exam on their guild's sacred ground of Sirius Island, in which wizards can advance to a higher rank and thus take part in more dangerous missions. During the exam, Fearī Teiru is drawn into a battle against the Dark Guild Grimoire Heart. The Dark Guild is seeking Zeph, who has been living on the island. Aided by a reformed Laxus, Fearī Teiru defeats Grimoire Heart, and Zeph kills the guild's leader Hades. However, the incident summons the Black Dragon Agnologia, which attacks the island. The spirit of Fearī Teiru's founding master, Mavis Vermilion, protects everyone on the island from Agnologia's assault with a defensive spell, freezing them in time for 7 years. After the spell expires, the returning Fearī Teiru members discover that their guild is the weakest in the kingdom. The guild participates in a tournament called the Grand Magic Games to decide the kingdom's strongest guild. Also participating in the tournament are Sabretooth, the current strongest guild, and Raventail, a guild founded by Makarov's resentful son Ivan. Fearī Teiru aids Crime Sorcery, a guild formed by an escaped Jelil, Urtia, and former Grimoire Heart member Marudi, in investigating a magical anomaly around the tournament arena. After defeating Sabretooth and Raventail, Fearī Teiru wins the Grand Magic Games. However, Natsu, Lucy and the others are drawn into a conspiracy involving the Eclipse Plan, which involves the use of the 12 zodiac Gatikis so that a person can travel back in time and destroy Zeph before he became a threat. Due to the machinations of the future aspect of Rogue Cheney, a dragon slayer and member of Sabretooth, the Eclipse is used to bring 7 dragons from the past through it instead. The Eclipse is destroyed during the battle between Natsu and Rogue, returning Rogue and the dragons to their respective time periods. The Fearī Teiru members accept a job request to save the Frozen Sun village. While there, they uncover activity from the Dark Guild Tartaros, who plan to summon their master End, Zeph's most powerful demon. The members of Tartaros assassinate the Magic Council and gravely wound Laxus, prompting Fearī Teiru to wage war on Tartaros. Development. After finishing his previous work, Brave Master, Hiro Mashima found the story sentimental and sad at the same time, so he wanted the storyline of Fearī Teiru to have a lot of fun, for everyone. When originally creating the series, Mashima was inspired by magicians and wizards. He based Natsu's motion sickness on one of his friends, who gets sick when taking taxis together. When naming Natsu, Mashima thought Western fantasy names would be unfamiliar to Japanese audiences. When writing individual chapters of Fearī Teiru, Mashima takes a 5-day process. On Monday, the script and storyboards are written. On Tuesday, Mashima writes rough sketches. From Wednesday to Friday, he finishes the drawing and inking on the chapters. Mashima usually begins new chapters after completing the previous ones. For the characters of the series, Mashima drew upon people he has known in his life. In establishing the father-son relationship between Natsu and Igneel, Mashima cited his father's death when he was a child as an influence. Mashima based the humorous aspects of the series on his daily life and jokes his assistants would make. Media, manga. Written and illustrated by Hiro Mashima, Fearī Teiru has been serialized in the manga anthology Weekly Shōnen Magazine beginning on August 2, 2006. The individual chapters have been collected and published into tankōbon volumes by Kodansha since December 15, 2006. As of May 2014, there are 361 chapters in 43 tankōbon volumes. A special in Weekly Shōnen Magazine featured a crossover with Flunk Punk Rumble, released in 2008. The official fanbook, Fearī Teiru Plus, was released on May 17, 2010 in Japan. Another crossover with Mashima's first series Rave was published in 2011. A special issue of Weekly Shōnen Magazine, published on October 19, 2013, featured a small crossover between Fearī Teiru and Nakaba Suzuki's The Seven Deadly Sins, where each artist drew a yonkoma of the other's series. An actual crossover chapter between these two ran in the magazine's combined 4/5 issue of 2014, which was released on December 25, 2013. The series was licensed for an English-language release in North America by Del Rey Manga. The company released the first volume of the series on March 25, 2008 and continued until the release of the 12th volume in September 2010. After Del Rey Manga shut down, Kodansha Comics USA acquired the license and began publishing Fearī Teiru volumes in May 2011. As of July 2013, 28 English-language volumes have been published. Anime. A1 Pictures and Satellite produced an anime adaptation of the manga. The anime, also titled Fearī Teiru and directed by Shinji Ishihara, premiered on TV Tokyo on October 12, 2009. The series ended its run on March 30, 2013, with reruns to begin airing on April 4, 2013 under the title Fearī Teiru Best. As of June 5, 2013, 41 DVD volumes containing 4 episodes each have been released. The Southeast Asian Network and IMAX Asia aired the series locally in English. On January 18, 2011, British anime distributor Manga Entertainment announced on Twitter that the company would release the anime series in bilingual format at the end of the year. On April 21, 2011, they had confirmed that the first volume with 12 episodes would be released in February 2012. However, they later announced that the first volume would be released on March 5, 2012. In 2011, North American anime distributor Funimation Entertainment announced that they had acquired the first season of the ongoing series. The series made its North American television debut on November 22, 2011 on the Funimation channel. Sequel. On July 11, 2013, Mashima announced a sequel series of the anime had been greenlit. The sequel series was officially confirmed in Weekly Shōnen Magazine on December 28, 2013. The sequel is produced by A1 Pictures and Bridge, featuring character designs by Shinji Takeuchi. The original series voice actors also returned to the project along with director Shinji Ishihara and writer Masashi Sogo. The series features character designs by Shinji Takeuchi. The official website for the sequel was launched on January 7, 2014. The series premiered on TV Tokyo on April 5, 2014, and is being simulcast by Funimation Entertainment. Original video animation. 6 original video animations of Fearī Teiru have been produced and released on DVD by A1 Pictures and Satellite, each bundled with a limited edition tankōbon volume of the manga. The first OVA, Yakuso Fairy Hills, is an adaptation of the manga remake of the same name, and was released with Volume 26 on April 15, 2011. The second, Yasari Gakun, Yankee-kun to Yankee-chan, is also an adaptation of the remake of the same name, and was released together with Volume 27 on June 17, 2011. The third, Memory Days, was released together with Volume 31 on February 17, 2012, and features an original story written by series creator Hiro Mashima. The fourth, Fairy's Training Camp, is based on Chapter 261 of the manga, and was released with Volume 35 on November 16, 2012. The fifth, Dokidoki Ryuzetsu Land, is based on Chapter 298 of the manga, and was released with Volume 38 of the manga on June 17, 2013. A sixth OVA, titled Fearī Teiru X Rave, is an adaptation of the remake of the same name, and was released on August 16, 2013 with Volume 39 of the manga. Film. An anime film adaptation of Fearī Teiru, titled Fearī Teiru the Movie, Phoenix Priestess, was released on August 18, 2012. It was directed by Masao Fujimori, and its screenplay was written by anime staff writer Masashi Sogo. Series creator Hiro Mashima was involved as the film's story planner and designer for guest characters appearing in the film. To promote the film, Mashima drew a 30-page prologue manga Hajimari no Asa, which was bundled with advance tickets for the film. The DVD was bundled with a special edition release of Volume 36 of the manga on February 13, 2013, and included an animated adaptation of Hajimari no Asa as a bonus extra. The film was aired on Animax Asia on March 23, 2013. Funimation has licensed North American distribution rights to the film. The English dub premiered at Nandesukan on September 13, 2013, and was released on Blu-ray DVD on December 10, 2013. Video games: an action video game for the PlayStation Portable, titled Fearī Teiru, Portable Guild, was unveiled at the 2009 Tokyo Game Show. The game was developed by Konami and was released on June 3, 2010. Two sequels to Portable Guild have also been released for the PlayStation Portable. The first, subtitled Portable Guild 2, was released on March 10, 2011. The second, Fearī Teiru, Zef Kakusei, was released on March 22, 2012. Two fighting games, Fearī Teiru, Gakita Madōshi Kessen and Fearī Teiru, Gakitatsu Cardia Disiada, were released for the Nintendo DS on July 22, 2010 and April 21, 2011, respectively. The characters Natsu and Lucy also appeared in the crossover video game Sunday vs. Magazine, Shaketsu. Kajadana Kessen as playable characters. Audio: the music for the anime was composed and arranged by Yasuru Takanashi. As of March 2013, 4 original soundtrack CDs have been released, containing music from the anime. The first soundtrack volume was released on January 6, 2010, the second volume on July 7, 2010, the third soundtrack volume on July 6, 2011, and the fourth soundtrack volume on March 20, 2013. Character song singles were also produced. The first single, featuring Tetsuya Kakihara and Yuichi Nakamura, was released on February 17, while the second single, featuring Aya Hirano and Raikage Miya, was released on March 3, 2010. Another character song album, entitled Eternal Fellows, was released on April 27, 2011. Two of the songs from the album, performed by anime cast members Tetsuya Kakihara and Aya Hirano, were used for both OVAs as the opening and ending themes, respectively. Other songs on the volume are performed by Yuichi Nakamura, Sayaka Ohara, Satomi Sata, Wataru Hatano, and a duet by Raikage Miya and Yui Horii. An internet radio program began airing on HiBKI radio station on February 11, 2012, featuring anime voice actors Tetsuya Kakihara and Mai Nakahara as announcers. Reception: manga. In Japan, the fifth volume of Fearī Teiru was ranked 7th in a list of the top 10 manga, and the series once again placed 7th after the release of the sixth volume. Fearī Teiru was in 2011 the fourth best-selling manga in Japan. About.com's Deb Aoki lists Fearī Teiru as the best shonen manga of 2008. It also won the 2009 Kodansha Manga Award for shonen manga. It has also won the Society for the Promotion of Japanese Animation's Industry Award in 2009 for Best Comedy Manga. Anime. The anime has also received positive response from critics and viewers alike. In Southeast Asia, Fearī Teiru won an IMAX Asia's Anime of the Year award in 2010. In 2012, the anime series won the Meilleur Anime Japonais Award and the Best French Dubbing Award at the 19th Anime and Manga Grand Prix in Paris, France. In reviewing the first Funimation Entertainment DVD volumes, Carlos Santos of Anime News Network praised the visuals, characters, and English voice acting, as well as the supporting characters for its comedic approach. However, Santos criticized both the anime's background music and CGI animation. In his review of the second volume, Santos also praised the development of a more substantial storyline, but also criticized the inconsistent animation and original material not present in the manga. In his review of the third volume, Santos praised the improvements of the story and animation, and said that the volume finally showed the anime series living up to its potential. In his reviews of the fourth and sixth volumes, however, Santos criticized the storyline's formulaic pattern, saying that unexpected wrinkles in the story keep the action from getting too stale, but calling the outcomes predictable. References. External links. English, official manga website of Del Rey, official anime website of Animax Asia, Hodgkins, Crystalline. Interview, Hiro Mashima. Anime News Network. November 8, 2011. Fairy Tale at Anime News Network's Encyclopedia, Fairy Tale at Anime News Network's Encyclopedia, Japanese, official manga website of Kodansha, official anime website of TV Tokyo, official radio program website of HiBKI radio station, official anime film website, official anime sequel website.